by Cox, Oklahoma City's best choice for HD. You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9.
At a time when most government agencies are shrinking their workforces, higher education really is doing just the opposite.
Over the past 15 years, employment at many of Oklahoma's colleges has increased significantly. 9 Investigates' Alex Cameron digs into the numbers for an explanation.
As priceless moments like this have played out this month at the state's 25 publicly supported colleges and universities, some say the cost of that public support, $15 billion over the past 15 years, is too high.
The data would show that our university systems are not using their funds responsibly.
The conservative OCPA's Jonathan Small says institutions of higher education don't have the same fiscal reality as everyone else.
I think there's a huge disconnect.
This is what he's talking about. Over the past 15 years, from 2001 to 2016, the number of people working at state agencies, as measured in full-time equivalents, or FTEs, decreased slightly, 1%. Over that same period, FTEs at the state's public colleges and universities increased 25%. Enrollment did go up in that time, but only 14%. Small says higher education employs more people than it needs because it can.
Money is so easy in higher ed because the federal government is guaranteeing student loans. They get state-level funding. They could raise tuition and fees.
Since 2001, in-state tuition at OU and OSU has gone up about 150%. At the state's regional universities, it's increased as much as 260%. And in that period, tuition's increased every year but 2. Still, compared to other states, tuition in Oklahoma remains relatively low, and higher education officials say that's despite recent cuts in state funding, including $112 million this year alone. They say the main reason higher ed has more employees now than in 2001 is new facilities that have opened since then, like the Stevenson Cancer Center, Harold Hamm Diabetes Center, both part of OU's Health Sciences Center, and OSU's Center for Health Sciences in Tulsa has also expanded.
74% of the numbers that I think you're going to be looking at over a 15-year period is going to be associated primarily with those 2 entities.
That still leaves a large number of other new hires, especially on OU's Norman campus, where since 2001, the number of full-time equivalents jumped 32%. The number of students also increased, but less than half that, 14%. We tried for nearly 2 months to get an interview with OU President David Bourne so we could ask him about this. Instead, the university provided Provost Kyle Harper.
We're really a different institution today than we were 15 years ago.
Harper doesn't deny the university's been adding staff, faculty, advisors, graduation coaches, but he says the result has been a 50% increase in bachelor's degrees being handed out, and that's worth the cost.
I think that while people want everyone to be good stewards of resources, people also understand the importance of higher education. We want our kids to be able to go to a top-tier university and to stay in this state.
Critics say Oklahomans may value access to top-notch higher ed, but they also want their higher ed to be a good value. For 9 Investigates, I'm Alex Cameron.